By God's grace, the topic before us is non-partisan participation in politics. And this is seminar. Alright? Involved in politics. Besides not using your office as a traditional head, religious head, or as a head of civil service, you must now do so well in intercession. Alright? Project right values. Use your office, because people listen to you, to project right values. So that your flock will look at these right values you are talking about when they want to choose a person that should lead them. You must condemn everything that will influence them negatively. For instance, tell them, don't vote for any person because he is trying to buy your votes. Right? Look at the person, the antecedents, the history, right? The achievements of the person. Has he handled any office before? He handled it well. Right? Okay, then participate in casting votes. So we are looking at intersection, project right values. Then 3, participate in casting votes. You must participate. That day of election, go with your voter's card and cast your votes. Hallelujah. It's important to do that. It's your responsibility. Then kick against ringing. These areas are areas that we are going to be tempted. Somebody will want to ring and want to use you. We are going to be tempted. You do everything to avoid it when you are now already involved in politics. It may not be easy for you, but you have to try your best to avoid it. Praise God. Alright. Then give equal opportunities to all aspirants to showcase their aspirations. In other words, even if you belong to a political party as an imam, right? Or a traditional leader, or a pastor, a minister of the gospel. Alright? If you belong to one political party, remember we have already established the fact that don't use your people to reject it. Okay? You find yourself as witnesses because of these 2 offices. Now, if somebody that is in another political party want to discuss with your people, want to see your people, don't pick against it because the person is from another political party. You have a free will to select friends. You will want to avoid that person that you know has nothing to offer. Just like you do with inviting pastors. For one reason or the other, you think somebody, allow the person to come to your church, maybe during one occasion or the other, and use the process to make comments about his aspirations. You know it will not be for the interest of the state. Not because of your political interests, but because of who you know the person is. You can avoid this. Right? You are very free to avoid it. And now, if the person has no such record and is coming to say, to showcase his face, of course you know your church will not be used as an access to get political interests. But we know what we say every now and then. They will come, we can't stop them. So when they come, they also know the right things to say. They want to say something. I know some will go out of their way to say something like that. It is wrong. But they can say something that, you should see. Projecting right values. You already know where they are going. That should be allowed. So you don't come out again to criticize them because you don't like the parties they represent. Pray for them. Pray for their interests. As long as it did not abuse the privilege of reaching out to people. Am I communicating? Yes. Praise God. Then promote the right persons, not parties, based on their antecedent previous history. Promote the right persons. Yes, you can promote the right persons. Hallelujah. There is difference between the person and the party. As a matter of fact, you can actually encourage someone who you believe that can do well. We are used by God as a body, talking about Christians, to send missionaries into mission field by supporting them financially through prayers and otherwise. The same way you should look at politics. The way you can, as a church, bring somebody and say, we are sending you to Cameroon, go and preach the gospel, heal the sick, raise the dead, sell the captives free. You can as well look at the political situation of your state or nation and see someone, a member of the church, that has been doing very well in different leadership positions. Alright? Maybe involved in politics, or not even involved in politics. And you see a vacuum the person can feel as a father, you can encourage the person. Don't you think you can go for this position? It's not out of place. That one is not being partisan, as a non-partisan. Are you listening to what I'm saying? You can tell the person, go. And when you are asking the person to go, you can as well use your ministry to back the person. Not only your ministry, the body of Christ. So you are not backing the person up because of his past. Are we there? You are backing him or her up because of what? His person. You may do all of it because we have to lose wisdom. Decide to do all the underground work for someone that is not a politician, be doing very well, before you now ask the person to register in a political party. You do things by plan. Rome was not built in a day. For instance, if this is 2022, and in 2023 we have election, all right? And we know we already have all the candidates of political parties, all right, that are registered. They are gone through their primaries. So as far as 2023 is concerned, you cannot begin to talk to someone to indicate interest, all right, in the presidential election in Nigeria. But you know also that if we conduct the election in 2023, the tenure of the person will last for how many years? 4 years. From 2023, count 4 years, that's what year? 2027. Is that right? So you can from now plan for 2027. Are we there? You can begin to plan. Get someone. Alright? You may sense the atmosphere and know who is going to become, or who you want, who you want to become, based on the right values you are looking at. When you have done that, you begin to support the person, not because of the party, because of the person. To win, because if the person wins, it's going to be an advantage to the person you are promoting. Prayerfully decide that as a church. Know the right person to support. Then, in a situation where you know that is going to be the second tenure of the person, you know you have an advantage. Are we there? And when it's the first tenure, you know the person is likely going to be interested. But let's assume it's the second tenure of the person. You know you have an advantage. You can even go through all of that process. As a matter of fact, the political climate of Nigeria presently calls for that. One of the problems we have as Africans is that I'm sorry to say, we seem not to have long sights. We don't see any wisdom in planning for the future. We only see tomorrow. We can hardly see next tomorrow. Whereas if you want to build a nation, you can start planning for the next 25 years. For now. You don't arrive at success. You have to plan it out and you walk into it systematically. You don't suddenly arrive at success by accident. And that has been good. The people of the world seem to be wiser in this dimension. They can plan, they can use their manipulative scheme to do everything to get what they want. But we that are Christians, we depend on God for everything. You know, most of us in this part of the world. And that's one of the major reasons why we have problems with development. We are developing country. 10 years ago, we are developing country. 30 years ago, we are developing country. 50 years ago, we are developing country. When are we going to become one of the developed countries? We have to plan it. And you can see governments, they hardly have plan for another term. And even political parties, they hardly have plan, for the future. It's just what they will get now once they are done with this thing. You see, they have their own political practice that is not even paid down. Politics inside politics. What they pay down in their constitution may be ethical and right. But there is another form of politics they actually practice that they believe in. And that is full of short-sightedness. Let's get something now. That is politics. You want to make it in politics. This is real politics. Leave that one in paper. It's just to show that we are good people. The real politics is that what you get now is what you get now that is your home. Not until we are tired with that kind of, mindsets. We will not be able to overcome present challenges. God will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. Now I want to look at the scriptural basis for this participation we are talking about. Number 1, 1 Timothy 2:1, and I read. I exhort therefore that first of all, supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men. Verse 2. For kings and for all that are in authority, that we may live a quiet and peaceful life in all godliness and honesty. That is good. Alright? It's better to pray for the right leader before the person becomes the leader. It's easier and better than to pray that God should correct the leadership when the person is already the leader. So, this is the best time to pray. Nigerians, this is the best time to pray. Alright? If you are a Nigerian, wherever you are over the world, this is the best time to pray. Right in diaspora, don't abandon us. 2023 election is coming. As a matter of fact, it's here. This is the right time to pray. Intercede for the right leader. Praise God. It is a commandment that we must obey. So, not partisan. I think God is going to hold a person responsible. If God is not probably made here, you are one of those. Even traditional leaders, they organize fasting. Alright? So why would the church who rejects or follow the way himself, Jesus, the way, the truth, and the light, where every other way is darkness? So we must pray that God should help us this time. Use your flock, engage your flock in intercession. You have that office, and one can chase 1,000. But 2 It's not 2,000. How many? 10,000. You can imagine that. So if you now employ 100 people, you can further calculate the arithmetical progression, geometrical progression. Alright? Just have a congregation of 500 members. What are you doing with it this time? What are you doing with them? You have a congregation of 100 members. What are you doing with them this time? You have a denomination where you have branches all over the world, and you have over 100 million members. What are you doing with them this time? Especially if you are a general overseer in Nigeria, you are a father. It's the best time to encourage them to pray. Teach them the right values. Alright? Why? Must you do beyond just prayers? I'm now in Mark 14:38. Mark 14:38. Wash ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. Mark 14:38. Wash ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. Do you see that? Pray, watch and pray. Be vigilant. That's the meaning of the word watch. Observe. See what is happening. Of course, God does not expect you to see what is happening and see wrong things happening and keep quiet. Observe to see, so that you can correct. Alright? Through prayers and action. Watch and pray, so that you will not what? Be tempted. Is that what he said? So that you will not enter the reign of the Antichrist. Basically, the reign of the Antichrist. Alright? Looking at the end time, you know, the Antichrist is actually rehearsing and practicing with different governments where people are going to be deceived. Then things become so hard and believe in the deceiver, and he acts as if he's good. And after some years, halfway into his reign, he shows his true color. Now you must not worship him. Now you must not do his deeds. Whatever I say, you must do. If you fail to do what he says, you are going to receive the mark of the beast by force. If you don't receive the mark of the beast, so that you do what he says, you are in trouble. You will be tortured. You will be dealt with. You will be arrested. Where the people that will become criminals are those that fail to receive the mark of the beast. So many years ago, this was rehearsed, practiced to the extent that, prisons were filled with Christian leaders so much that there was no room for armed robbers in prisons. Telling you, this has happened before. Alright? Where church leaders were arrested, if you just say you are a Christian, they will kill you. It has happened before. Just that you are a Christian, kill you. Generally, it has happened before. Now, different parts of the world where you know it's happening, where you cannot declare that you are a Christian, even presently. Now, we also know the use of microchips. So many years ago, Australia, we have started practicing it. Because instead of carrying credit card and sit at the document, you just go before what do you call it? A system like a POS, in some of a computer that can code the microchip. Alright? Computer where transactions are made. You go to supermarket, you don't go with any card, Visa card or whatever. ATM, that's what we use in Nigeria. No credit card in Australia. Alright? For those that want to have this microchip. And where are the places? Your forehead or your tongue. The same two places that we talked about. Many years ago, they have started doing that. And the government encouraged them to do it. Because once you are able to do it, if you you are missing, you can be known. Wherever you are in any place of the world, you can be easily detected and discovered. So they see no reason why you don't want to do it, except you are free. But it has not been forced. God didn't allow them to do that over these years because the time of Antichrist has not. So different world are practicing it. Hardship in this part of the world where we are, Nigeria. You see the level of hardship. People have gone into crimes they never expected they will be involved in. They want to keep it basis. Not because they wanted to be, they were frustrated with it. So prostitutes you have, they tell you their background, religious background. Or being in Islamic religion or Christianity. How they were fully involved in activities. And all these religions condemn immorality. But why are they involved in it? We were pushed to the world. Praise God. So many people, they are not involved because of pleasure. Those involved because of pleasure do not is spiritual basics. But many, even those involved in armed robbery, it's not because they wanted to, except those also possessed, frustrated. Now, I'm not trying to justify them, but the situation of the country, to feed, they feel they just have to survive. To many people, the war started in Nigeria before the COVID-19, and the war has not ended. There are different parts of the world that you also have similar cases and experiences where people die daily because of hunger. People are in pain because of bad leadership. So if you already have that system, people there have already entered into these are all rehearsals. The Antichrist is just practicing with bad leaders. Of course, you know the hierarchy. Scripture talk about it. The powers of darkness, rulers of this world. So you know them. They want to also rule in the physical world. So Christians must be alert. Take advantage of this. We have enumerated intersection, projecting the right values, right? Getting the right persons, promoting them, not parties. Take advantage of each of those areas. Intercession, pray for them. You also go and cast your votes. It's very, very important we do all of that, so that we do not what? Enter into temptation. The last scripture, James 2:26. For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. The body without the spirit is dead, so faith without work is dead also. Do you see that? If the body collapses, the spirit is gone. There is a separation between the body and the spirit. The spirit leaves and the body collapses. So the person is what? Dead. The same way, if you have faith, there is no hope, there is no life in it. So when you pray and you have faith that this prayer will work, show to God that what you told you in the place of prayer, you are involved in it, you are practicing it. Keep against the wind, project the right values, intercede, and do what that we have spoken about. When you do it, you are helping your future, the future of the next generation, the future of your children. I told us we did that some time ago in one of the higher institutions I attended some years back. We came up together and said no to courtesy. All church leaders, you don't go. Tell me who do you want as the leadership president? Which is okay. The person I have, I'd rather let the person be vice. I know of a brother in this particular denomination. I told that to go for president. We were united. We had a list during an existing government because the school was going to strike. Things were just happening. Baptism has taken over the campus. We were all being affected. He said, this particular year, We must take over. We went to tell people we want to. We were meeting in the night. We were working as if we were politicians. We never knew that politics can be so interesting and easy. That all it just requires is unity and planning. We thought it's just for us to run and try and go and vote that day. When they are fighting, we run and we pray, maybe God will intervene. When we planned out, before the day of politics, all those gods that were ruling, they were already afraid. They didn't put in much interest as usual. They were afraid when they saw our teamwork, their spirit dropped. They know that to put in money and do all of it, it's like the owner has come to take over. He just won. What did this get you? And the school became calm. So we stop here. I don't know whether we have questions to ask. Perhaps you have time for that. Right. Okay, we have questions. Okay, if you have a question before we pray and I take my seat, let us take the question. Just if you think I anything of your hand. Take the question. Do you have any question? Okay, someone is using it. Another person will have two. Right? If we have the third person, let's do three. So that we have to manage time. We also have four. I think that's okay. That's what we continue. No, that's all right. First question.
Thank you so much. It's quite rich.
Thank you very much.
I am a competition.
Very well.
A believer.
Beautiful.
Now, non-partisan, as you define it, I mean to religious leaders, traditional rulers, and others you mentioned. We find out that our practice down to our country, down to the grassroots, if we must follow exactly what you said, the present politicians in our country go to these traditional prayers. They don't come to men of God. They equally now go behind pastors of their choice.
That's right.
For prayers. When we look at this, why will the church, when I say the church now, the true Christian, true people that are practicing religion, not come out and identify this and plan? Because from the church history, we know very well that they participated in politics. The ones who were presently, why are we not taking that stand? Even in the country, Nigeria. That is the reason why we are missing a lot of things. Why the Christians don't plan, but the Muslims plan. It now behoves us to go back to the drawing board as Christians, to plan if we really want to relieve others of these pains. So, I'm talking from experience. I was counseling people as I was finding down from the political practice over the weekend. I said, look, the driver was complaining that he's now buying fuel for 359, whereas Jonathan left this country at 87 naira per litre. The Christians did not follow. At what point are we not going to start to be non-partisan? I believe that when Christian believers stand up to pray and intercede and act, it will give us good leadership in this country. Because if you read the history of America, they went through turbulent times as we are, but they took a stand. We are not taking a stand as Christians. Now the Naira is about to be changed, the face of the Naira. They are putting in, they are not showing us the time. They want to embed in the Islamic doctrine, though it's there before, but Christians are not making noise about it. But what is in the dollar is in God we trust.
That is it.
Then why are we not taking a stand in this country?
That's a very good one. Because of time, I would have allowed one of the persons to be asked. Right? Yeah, I will just respond. You see, the challenge we have basically is the issue of unity. We are not united. It's not as if no church, no denomination, or leader of denomination is not aware of these things we are saying, but does not want to do something about what we are saying, or have not attempted what we are talking about. Some actually tried to be their best was not good enough, but they really tried and they were discouraged because of the issue of unity. Right? And some actually failed because whatever they were doing, they were encapsulated in their denominational bias. And what I mean by that is that they actually wanted somebody from their denomination. So it's like turning denomination to political party. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, if we can put away all of that, just like those in campus, Christians in campus, they are more organized than church leaders, so to say. Right? The ego of who is the senior in ministry. Alright? Some they want to consider their age or time they are put in. Some want to consider the size of their work and all of that. Then you see the ego. Right? But everything still boils down to is unity. Right? And again, some people do not really have the right knowledge. Some people actually need orientation. Okay? You need to understand that this is beyond, who is projecting someone from its denomination. We need a leader. Every denomination can present someone, for instance, or those that are interested. And we have a body like CAN or PFO. Alright? Then we must say, okay, let's screen internally. We should also have a perimeter for screening. Without being biased, let these people go through screening. Let the best become our general choice. Something like that. You have a list of the qualities that you want, and you rate everybody without being biased. Alright? There are some rating that you don't even a Christian to do. There's somebody with integrity. As long as that area of experience and qualification is there. You see, rate these people. For instance, we want to rate based on educational qualities. We know that is not the first to consider. Alright? But you want to rate because education has a way of reflecting. Someone that will decide that how to be Christian, bring your paper, let's know how many years you have spent. Let's know the level of education you have attained. Years of experience you have worked in your profession and all of that. The person that had the highest, you put it. Talking about general experience in leadership, you notice integrity, right? You also look at it. So the person that had the highest score may not be the person that will do best. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when you want to do something and want everybody to support, you need to have the basics for getting everybody's interest. We don't have a general basics. Just like we have the Bible as our general base that we don't follow. We don't have everybody's support. God can still work it out to make the person that is called in the list that is actually the capable of being the best to become before the actual election. God can work it out. But let's have something. Let's do something. if one of the good people become a leader, is it not better than one of the bad people? So then we win. All right, number 2.
I used to believe, like you define for us, partisanship, politics. But when you take the Bible from after the issue of theocracy, before theocracy, of course, I mean, in the days of theocracy, it's God that makes choice. He chooses through the prophet, the leadership. And then the prophet supervises the king.
Yeah.
He can always go there and interfere, intervene, interrupt whatever he's doing. But we came with democracy. And of course, chastity in February 1931 defined democracy as a government by the uneducated and for the badly educated. And that's exactly where we are. The government of the uneducated for the badly educated. And the badly educated, primitive acquisition for themselves and their family. And for us as Christians, there are 3 components that operates in every society, whether we like it or not. The 3 components is 1, your workplace, your community, and then the 6th step. Your workplace, of course, it could be block motor, selling petrol and all that. Those are your workplace. Your community, it could be your tribe, the church, the groupings, they are the community. Then the 6th step. What is the 6th step? The laws that are made, the regulations that are made. Now, if the Christians decide and stay out as a group of people and allow the badly educated or the Muslim to make the laws for us, it will affect us in our workplace, it will affect us in our community. Of course, it will diminish the church. It has happened before. So for us to believe that we should still be with that principle of not partisanship. To me, in fact, I'm one of the people today so happy when I see Obi, for example, I'm sorry I have to say it, going to the churches, Catholic meeting place. It's time for us to take side. As far as I'm concerned, if we do not, I'm waiting to pray and pray. By the time we open our eyes, I don't know what will happen.
Thank you. Thank you. Just to reinforce that and then emphasize what I said. You see, the way around it is project the person. For instance, the churches that he went to that are supporting him, they are not supporting him because he's from the Labour Party. You understand what I'm saying? What we make us who can actually pray, bless. I know I said it. You can bring someone and even encourage him. I know you are not talking about politics, but I see you as a father, a church leader, doing well in this office. So the person that is already coming, not because of the party, because of the person, support him. And when you are talking about him, don't mention party. Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't mention party, mention his person. The people already know the party that he belongs to. And there are a lot of avenues that he can use to also communicate the party that he belongs to. You get the point? That is it. Nobody will condemn you for supporting Obi, for instance, as a Christian, because he is involved in politics and he came to the church, and you know he's going to be, and he knows the candidates. one of the candidates for post-presidency election. Why do I like come to your church? No. Where we have to go is if you are not talking against other political parties, where you are talking for his interests. Praise God. So there is a way around this. For instance, there are things to mention when you want to talk about party. It means you believe that it's that party that will make you succeed. And there are things to mention when you want to talk about person. Because you believe it is his historical background that gave you knowledge about him, his person presently, that you expect him to even improve on, if not at least remain to be, so that he can do well. Praise God. So that is it. We shouldn't be silent about it. We shouldn't allow those that don't look or respect God and His word and our value system to take over the leadership of our nation. We should not be hiding under non-partisan to slip off from our responsibility. You can embrace the right people. As a matter of fact, don't defend them. Don't betray them. That's not because of their words, but in other words, when you choose Mr. A and anything happens, Mr. A is no longer in the party, it shows the best in this now in this other party. You still stick to Mr. A if he's still the best candidate. Don't say because it's left in the party, you are no longer with it. When you talk like that, you are now talking as a partisan. Do you get the point? That's right. All right.
Thank you very much. And the time for us to get it right is now, because when you look at the scenario, things are very, very ugly. Things are very, very ugly. People are hungry. People are going about, they're angry. And we Christians, we can no longer tolerate all this. Well aware that these Northerners, let us call a spade, they are very, very good at playing politics. You said that they are illiterate, they don't know what is happening, they have been ruling. This is a game plan. For several decades now, I'm now 50 years, and my first daughter, she just did our age, the next thing she'll do a jam, and you see all manner of things. What am I trying to say? In essence, we know very well that obedience is better than sacrifice. How long will we continue to fool ourselves? If we unite, we'll be free. That's just the truth. And we see it happen in the case of one particular redeemed. I have to mention the redeemed redemption of God. Our brother there is the fight, but because he has been caged, he cannot speak. How long will we continue? But now we know obedience is better than sacrifice. Yeah, people want to see the Pope. And people are even ready to give out everything. When it comes to the issue of money politics, how will the people be happy in the first place? And we see the G5 because they are angry. They don't want it. They know quite well that the rabbis should be there is wicked, but they said we will accept money. They accepted $1, they sold their conscience. And I'm equally there in one particular minister's meeting, and they said that let us go for begging. The begging was from Delta State. They said that this man is going nowhere. But this particular pastor, bishop, they said they don't care. They are going to eat his money, is going nowhere. But myself, because I felt that I cannot soil my image, I don't want to then, I did not go. People are saying, I'll collect money, I'll say, but then you have already betrayed yourself. My question is, how long will we continue in disobedience? Watch and pray. Because they have a PDP, it's a Northern. In Labour Party, a Northern is there. They are planted there. It's a coup. So whether you like it or not, it will continue. So we must wise up. Thank you.
Thank you for your readings. And people speak to people, people understand. Yes. And I believe that God will help all of us to be obedient in Jesus' name. Amen. See, the Muslim, even beside their leaders, talking about the Muslim generally, they are not even emphasizing partisan. What they emphasize in their approach to politics is their religion.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are talking about unity here. It's their religion, their own. It's the one they can go and meet in office and say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Not the one that when he's there, you say bye-bye. Is it not your son you send an errand and you expect a feedback? You don't send a stranger an errand and you expect a feedback. When the person is not doing well and you don't know him is a stranger, can you go? So that even if you think the person may be good, and because it's a stranger, you don't have basis for correcting him, you should prefer your own. Alright? That's why we are told in the Bible, yes, be good to everybody, yes, first to those that are of the household of faith. Charity begins at home. Alright? So, what we do, we back up our home. This doesn't make it partisan. Alright? Now, if we are talking about the treated set of people, treated set of people, leaders, traditionally, things of religion and otherwise. But looking at it generally, as the body of Christ in Nigeria, we should be able to have a stand this time. We should be able to have a stand. We have no excuse. The context of the message was general, so I approached it general. Now, we want to be particular, because that's the question I'm seeing now, to the present situation. Among these candidates, who is our own? That is the one we know to be our own. That's why God will help us all to be obedient. We have suffered enough. We have suffered enough. No. We don't even know who's winning us. Do you know that an average Muslim, sorry to say, an average Northerner, they have given up on even their people? Except those ones that are just sold out. Many have, some hate the leadership that have taken us to where we are now more than us because of the betrayal. So if we encourage them by standing behind our own now, we say, okay, this people, they will support us. By the time you don't carry your load, you are asking somebody, come and help me. You are not even ready to put a finger. Say, please come and help me. Who will help you? So we should know that someone has declared his stand and God has helped him without money and all of that. He has this popularity for it. We should be able to help him prayerfully, and those of us that are in power, we should help him also with our offices, because we know this is Nigeria. They will do everything to win. They may want to win. So use your office to protect, to defend, to do the necessary support. Know that it's God that has placed you there in times like this for us. And if you fail us in that office, God will hold you responsible. All of us are not given